Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. This is my August roundup. Now I'm doing my monthly videos. I think I might just call them by the month. This is
Emily!
And she wanted to be on the video before heading off to get ready for bed. Have you got somebody to show?
Yep. It's Quacky, my squishmallow. It's a bowl of guacamole with a chip in.
Right then, off to bed then.
Yep. Good night.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night.
Be good for Daddy.
I will. I'll try to.
So yes, I'm Helen and I live in Leicester with my husband, Emily, who is my youngest daughter, and Katherine, who is my eldest. She's almost a teenager. 1 month and I will be the parent of a teenager. That's a scary thought, a really, really scary thought. So yes, I do all sorts of crafts. I crochet, I knit, I cross stitch. I do occasionally get my sewing machine out and do some dressmaking. I have been itching to do that recently, but I just haven't had the time. And yeah, so here I am, little old me again. I would like to start off and talk about my blanket along. So I have seen some lovely photos popping up on my feed, people remembering to tag me. However, the hashtag, for whatever reason, I know people are using the hashtag, but the hashtag isn't showing. That's the wrong app. Let me just go in and have a look. So it's Crochet Moments Bell 2023 and it's saying no posts yet. But I know there are some in there because I know that there's at least 2 of my followers who have tagged me and used the hashtag. So I don't know what's going on there. It could be that the people using them are private accounts and therefore that's why I'm not seeing them on here. That's fine. I know you're there, so I can at least count you into the draw for the prize. But I'm very confused as to why it's not there. There must be. I know Tina has posted some things on Instagram. I've had at least one other person other than Tina posting they DM'd me some pictures to be included. So if you didn't want to put your projects on your social media, by all means email them to me and I'll add you to the list. Those of you new here, hello. Just to just let you know, I have a make along going on at the moment. It is a blanket along and it's basically just a little sort of motivational session, a few months where you just work on some blankets and post your progress pictures. You don't have to finish. I know I don't know. I've got a blanket that's close to finishing. But I can't take part, I can't win my own prize. So there is a prize and that was very kindly donated by Andy and Angela of Attic Spin Dye. Now this prize I was already planning on buying. So this is not going to be the only part of the prize. I will put a prize package together. At the moment I haven't been out shopping and deciding what I'm going to add to this yet because I've been sticking so well to my yarn diet that the only incoming yarn that I have had for the most part this year has been my subscription yarn. I'm so excited that I'll be so good. I've been working so hard and it was hard because a week or so ago we went on a small holiday to Worcester to see my family and there's this lovely little yarn shop beautiful little yarn shop, lots of yarn, beautiful yarn, and I walked out empty-handed. And I felt so bad and guilty, but I just couldn't find anything that would go for a project that I have planned to start or anything like that. So I'm very proud of myself. Anyway, on to the prize. So this is part of the prize that I will be adding to this. It is a bag of Andy's blanket balls. So these are fantastic minis. I will show you what I'm making with mine. Personally, I have 2 bags of these on the go, along with a lot of other minis that I bought. And in here, so here, this is Pink Bear and Jemima's mystery blanket balls, and it comes with a little stitch marker. I've got a couple of these ones, the little bird in the bird cage. They're really beautiful. And then we've got 10 little balls of yarn. That's just 3 of the colours. I'll leave the others as a mystery. So I will be drawing the winner in September's roundup. So let's pop all of that in there. So in September's roundup, I will have by then picked something to go with this. I will have decided what it is I want to add to it. It could be a pattern, it could be some more yarn. I haven't decided yet. So that was so kind, Andy. I haven't emailed you to say thank you, but there will be a little something in the post to you shortly as a little thank you. So do be looking out for that in the next week or so. I just, there's a couple of things I want to get to go in there to go with it. So yeah. So that's my make along. So you've got until the end of September to use the hashtag Crochet Moments BAL 2023. I've been shockingly terrible at show notes underneath my videos, and so I do apologise for that. I do need to work harder at getting, but it's been the summer holidays. That's my defence right now. It's been the summer holidays, and the days that I'm not at work, we are 9 times out of 10 off doing something fun with the girls, or we're trying to encourage them to tidy their rooms or tidy in the living room, because our living room always looks like a bomb's gone off in it, and a lot of the time that's to do with the girls. Although occasionally it does look like a yarn bomb's gone off in here when I get some of my project bags out like they are now, all sat down next to the side of me. So a little about myself. I have been crocheting since, oh gosh, Emily was born. So less than 7 years. How long have I been crocheting now? I think I've been crocheting for about 4 or 5 years. So this August is the month of my anniversary for my podcast, so I'm in my 3rd year now. I have a small but loyal, wonderful following of 314 subscribers. I have a few that have stuck with me since the very beginning, and they've all been such a fantastic support. And I'm pleased to say that Soffity is back. I'm so pleased to see some comments on my last video from Soffity. I have been worried, and I know a few of you have also been worried, because we're also used to seeing her chatting away down in the bottom, making my channel have that definite community feel. I want to encourage that, encourage you all to chat amongst yourselves and get to know each other, because it's great. I've got followers from different corners of the world, which amazes me. It does, that there are people on the other side of the planet that make time out of their lives to spend with me talking about yarn and my knitting and crochet. So it's very humbling. So yeah, I'm really grateful for that. So what else, what have I been up to this last month? Oh, I was talking about myself, wasn't I? I was just giving a little background. Yeah, so I've been knitting since I was about 8 or 9 years old. I remember my mum teaching me, and I remember my very first scarf starting out this wide, going in like this, and then coming out like that, and then there was a bit of leaning, and then there was a bit more that way. It was just so much fun. If only I still had all of those. My mum was not a sentimental person, so she didn't keep any of my first efforts at knitting or cross stitch. I remember my very first cross stitch as well, and that was a sight to behold. So I really do wish that I'd kept those. I've certainly got a couple of Catherine's early attempts at knitting upstairs somewhere in a box. Yeah, so that's it. So life update. Well, this past month the training for my new role at the bank that I work is well and truly underway. I'm seeing appointments now. So I used to work as customer services. I'm now an account the official title is personal banker, but what I do is I just talk to customers about products that they want to open, answer any questions, and then I open the products for them basically. So it's a step up, it's a small increase in my wages, which means a little bit more can go away every month into my knitting account, ready for my visits to yarn shows. I'm hopeful that I'll get to Bakewell this year. However, Catherine's birthday is very close to Bakewell, and my sisters always come to visit on the Sunday either before or after her birthday. So depending on which Sunday they decide to visit, I may or may not be able to go to Bakewell this year. If I can't get to Bakewell, I will find an alternative yarn show to visit. So feel free to drop any suggestions if you're UK based. So I'm obviously Leicester, so Midlands area is best for me because we don't like to travel more than an hour and a half to get to somewhere if we're only going somewhere for a day. But yeah, so work's been very busy. This last week has been very interesting. We had an incident over the weekend while we were closed. The cleaner had come in to do her usual Saturday morning cleanup and left a tap running in the upstairs staff area, which caused overflowing sinks, which caused the toilet to back up, and lots of water cascading through the floor into the ceiling of the downstairs area of the bank. 2 ceilings have fallen through. It went into our retention room, which is the room where we keep a lot of our important paperwork. So the whole of Monday, we couldn't open on Monday. The whole of Monday was spent peeling apart pieces of paper that had stuck because of how wet they were and laying them out flat to dry, because it's all very important things that we have to keep. It's not stuff we can get away with just chucking away in the bin. So that was an experience, and obviously we're still mid cleanup. We've got humidifiers running in the branch over the week, well, all week and over the weekend, and they can start fixing things once everything's dry, but they can't do that for another week or so. So that will be it's just been, oh gosh, such an experience. So things we've been doing with the girls, we went to a scarecrow festival. That was very interesting. We enjoyed that so much. I'm trying to remember which scarecrow festival it was we went to, because there's a few in our local area, but I can't remember. I will see if I can get Simon to insert a few photos around this. of things. Some of them, there was, and I don't know if he got a good picture of it, but there was a scarecrow crocheting. There was a crochet scarecrow. So that was very fun to see. So I will try and get Simon to sort of decide, put that up. I will mention it to him. In fact, if I pause the video here, he will know to put the photos in at this point. So that's what I'm going to do before I continue with my update. Okay, so Simon should now have put those photos in. What else have we been doing? We've done lots of museum visits. We've got a few museums in the city centre that the girls enjoy going to and we go to on a regular basis. So there's the King Richard III Museum. So with that one, we just have to pay the once and the ticket lasts for a year. So we've been there. We have a museum. It's now called the Leicester City Museum and Art Gallery. However, I've always known it as New Walk Museum because that's what it was called when I first moved to Leicester. They enjoy that. There's dinosaurs. There's a natural history section, which is just sort of stuffed animals. There's some art galleries. They've currently got a punk exhibition, which Katherine absolutely loves the fashion. They've got some mannequins in there wearing fashion from the punk era, and she loves a few of those outfits. I'm starting to get concerned as she gets older and has more say in the things that she wears. We'll have to wait for that one. We've been to Worcester, which is where where I grew up. So that's where my family are based. We went to see my sisters and my nephews. We did a lovely walk along the canal to the River Severn. We visited the Royal Commandery. We walked through the city centre. Then we did a visit to a place called All Things Wild, which is like a little zoo. What did we do on the next day? I think on the next day we just sort of hung around the city centre. Katherine loves going around charity shops and things like that, so that's what we did. And yeah, so lots of trips. This weekend is August bank holiday, so we've got a lot planned. I may post some photos. It might even have been posted before this video goes up. We're going to a yarn bombing event. There is a small village just outside of Leicester called Cosby, and every year they do a humongous yarn bombing. It's going to be very similar to the Scarecrow Festival. So lots of people in the village and in the knitting group that they have there have created lots of scenarios and characters. There's a full-sized Elvis. I've read that there is a full-sized Elvis Presley. That's just like, wow. That's dedication. So there's lots. So I hope I will try and take lots of photos, and either they'll go on my they might go on my Instagram and my YouTube community page, but they'll definitely go on one or both. So I can't wait to see those, and hopefully the weather stays good. It is forecast to rain this weekend a little bit, so but yes, so then we're going to also hopefully visit RAF Cosford. They have a Horrible Histories Up in the Air event for the summer holidays, and we've been meaning to get there all summer, and the girls start back at school next week, so we thought we'd better make a point of visiting this weekend as well. So that will probably be on Monday, but we're not 100% sure. Again, a lot of it will depend on the weather and how we organise everything else during the weekend. So that's all of that about this. So you're not here just to hear about all the things I've been up to with my family. You're here to see the things I've been making. So the August roundup for my making is one finished object, and I have, including my cross stitch, 6 whips to show you. So let's start with my finished object first. So I have been working to make some cowls and hats for the whole family, although I got a little bit bored with working on these particular knit projects, so I'm taking a little break, and I will get on to work on mine and Simon's at a later date. But I finished Catherine's 100 stitch cowl. There it is. I haven't sewn the ending yet, but I think this was still on the needles last. I can't remember. I might have finished it, or I might have just finished it. I still haven't sewn in the end because I forgot that I hadn't done that. So there it is. Love this yarn. Katherine loves this yarn. So this is the hat. It's made from the same yarn, so you can just see how just the quantity of stitches can affect how a yarn will knit up. So this is a hand dyed yarn. It's Woolly Mama Yarns, and this was a birthday or Christmas present 2 years ago, I think, from the girls. I think Katherine picked this particular colour out as well, so it's ironic that this is the colour that she picked out for her hat and cowl for the autumn and winter. Although to be fair, she'll probably wear the hat quite often. Now I finished the set, I'll give those to her. So Emily's I've already shown on previous episode, but this was using Attic Spin Die, and that is the Peter Rabbit colourway from one of his subscriptions that he's starting all over again. So these Attic Spin Die is Attic Spin Die is going to be starting a new subscription theme soon, and that is Winnie the Pooh. So yes, I will be adding that one to my basket. Actually, I got paid today, so when I'm done here I could add it to my basket. That would be fun. So I do have a subscription yarn here with me. I'll show you that at the end. That's the only incoming I have, other than those blanket balls, which we've already shown you. So that is my only, actually just, did I say 6 whips? I meant 5. I think I meant 5. Anywho, let's do my knitted works in progress first. So this is living in my No Way crochet bag, but it's a knitted project. That one worked out well, didn't it? But I've got so many knitted projects, I need to do something to get them down. So this is the bag of minis that I'm working from for this project. I don't know if I dare tip it any further than that. There they all are. Whoop! I knew that was going to happen. Oh. So in here, all the little minis. So often with the subscriptions that you get from Andy, and sometimes with some of the, if you do a larger order, you get an extra little mini. So those are included in here as well. I've bought a few minis as well. So for example, that one is a Cuddle Bums one. I bought that from a yarn show. When did I buy that one? I bought this one, the Cuddle Bums minis, from the one that was in the Sheffield Arena, the Wool Monty. But yes, so I have, when I've worked a mini from here, I move it to here. And let's show you the project now. I've shown you the yarn, you see. This is the Cosiest Memories blanket, and I am making this approximately double bed sized. Ultimately I wanted it to be big enough to have over me and Simon when we're snuggling on the sofa, and as an extra layer on our bed in the winter. So once it's finished I will be crocheting a border. So here it is. So there's, I had planned on just sort of starting and going almost like a corner to corner type thing, and that wasn't working for me, so I just decided to just do it in strips now. So it goes all the way along to here. I think it's about 16 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 squares wide, and I plan on going to about 18 rows long. And it is just a mitered square blanket. It's a free pattern by Kemper Wray. Lots of people have made it, and just the colours, I love all of this yarn. And I'm going completely random, unless the colour I pull out is very similar or the same as a colour it is going to be touching, it goes straight in. So the colour I'm using at the moment is actually some leftover from I did the Changing Staircases shawl. I can't remember the name of the colour, but it's unravelling. So as soon as I finish this square, which I'm not sure when I'll be working on that next, I suppose I could take it in the car with me tomorrow. Ooh. Don't know what happened to the focus there. So yeah, so I could take it in the car with me tomorrow on the way to the Cosby yarn bomb and do some knitting there on it. Maybe. But yeah, so each square takes me about an hour. It is just a mitered square, and you pick the stitches up along the bottom, cast on when you're not working in a corner, and then you just do your reducers. Yeah, your decreases, that's the word I was looking for. Words are really failing me today. That was just, it was very embarrassing when I was in an appointment with a customer. I just completely lost my words. But yeah, so there you go. I just love this so much. And I'm looking forward to it being big enough to start snuggling under. Certainly if I keep taking this with me places. This came with me to Worcester because I wanted something a little bigger than just a pair of socks to work on in the hotel room in the evenings, because we would get to the hotel at around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and bedtime wasn't for a couple more hours really, so I would just sit, watch some YouTube, and then get on with some knitting while I watched my YouTube. Pop that away. This yarn is just getting on my nerves. I'm going to have to ball that one up once it's off the needles for definite. So that is one of my long-term projects for definite. It'll take me a little while to do. And then the last knitted project that I've worked on is living in this fantastic bag that I was given as a 40th birthday present by a lovely subscriber to my channel, and it's got this lovely purr meow on the front, on the inside lining. It's I love this bag so much. It's just about the right size for this project. So this is a very vintage, well I say very vintage, it's probably 80s. It's probably 80s to early 90s, but there's this knitting pattern that I have, I think this was a charity shop find. It was either a charity shop find or one of my mum's patterns, because obviously when she passed away I got all of her knitting patterns. So yeah, so this is a Serdar pattern. I can't find it anywhere as a download or to buy, so once I'm done with it, if it's something that you might want, just email me and I'll try and remember to keep it by, although it's taking a long time working on this. It's a lace pattern. Now I am just starting to improve my confidence in lace, and I will talk about that actually let's talk about it now. So I have the Tin Can Knits app, which obviously you all know from my last episode when I showed you the barley hats that I've knitted from it, and they have done, and I don't know if this is something that you can still access, but they did a free sort of how-to on lace knitting tutorials course type thing by email. So the minute I saw the email I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I signed up for it, and over the course of, I think it was about a week, you got sent 3 tutorials to access to do lace knitting. So part of that was including about how to read a chart and how to improve your knitting. So this is one of the swatches I did. It has been on the floor a little bit from Emily. And this one was the last tutorial where you learned to increase at the same time as doing the lace. So it's not perfect, it has errors in it, but it was just about building that confidence and working out what you're doing, following the pattern, reading the chart and things like that. So onto this, it hasn't helped with my speed. I'm not any faster, but I have reduced for the armholes, and my needles have all tangled up. What's going on here? Oh. Okay, so this is probably the work of about 2 evenings worth of knitting there. So from where my Mad Hatter's hat is. Oh no, it's not. That Mad Hatter's hat there is to mark the row that I measure from for the arm decrease. So no, I did do more than that. I thought I'd done more than that. No, I think I've done a couple of inches worth. I think I was down there somewhere. There you go, I'm not as slow as I thought. I'm still slow. I'm much slower than I am with if it was just plain stocking stitch or even a cable pattern. I'm a little bit faster with cables. I'm still not overly confident with cables though. But yes, there we go. And I think I'm doing really well. There have been no major mistakes. I've had one row where I didn't seem to finish on the right stitch that I should have finished on, but just the one row that's happened on, and it seemed to fix itself the following row, but it hasn't affected the way the lace is sitting. So this is going to be for Katherine. Thankfully, I don't think I'd have the patience to knit something as intricate as this for my size. I'm a larger lady. I'm not going to say what dress size I am, but being a larger lady, these things take a little longer to knit than, but this has taken forever. This is just the first piece. This is the back. I have another piece for the front to make, and then 2 sleeves, although the sleeves are short. So at least these won't take too long, but this is taking what feels like forever. So, but the yarn I'm using is absolutely divine. It is Drifter 4-ply, and it is a combination of, it's 69% acrylic, 25% cotton and 6% wool. There are 400 meters to 100 grams. I'm still on my first ball, but then I haven't really got that much done, have I? So, but I'm enjoying the process. I'm not finding it laborious, I'm just finding it hard because a lot of the time I'm knitting in front of the TV. If I'm watching something that I need to be paying attention to, it is hard to be working on this at the same time. So I maybe need to work on this when I don't have anything particularly taxing to be concentrating on, maybe. But I'm looking forward to getting progress on it done. Let's close that up. Okay, so those are my knitting projects to show you that I've worked on. I have some crochet, 2 crochet projects to show, and then my cross stitch. Okay, so I'm going to start with my blanket project that I think this is, this is my only crocheted blanket that I've got on the go at the moment. That's a bit shocking, isn't it? This is living in a bag I bought from Aldi quite a few years ago now. It's a fantastic knitting sack. It's got a zip in the top. It's big enough to hold a blanket's worth of yarn in there. This is my Winter Wonderland blanket. This was released as a crochet along, and I can't remember if it was a paid for pattern. If I remember to do show notes, it will be linked below. So there's my notebook that I use to write my pattern rows in and cross off what row I'm on. And I think I counted, I've got 25 rows, I think, until I'm finished. 25 rows and a border, and then I'm finished on this blanket, so I'm very excited. This I am using the paint box. Let's get a large fuller ball of yarn. The paint box yarns Simply DK. I bought this on sale from Lovecrafts, which is pretty much the only place you can get paint box from. It's a lovely acrylic, it's 100% acrylic. It's a beautiful DK. I've enjoyed working with it. I will definitely look to work with it again for other projects. Here it is. There we are. I'm going to have to stand up so you can see all of this. So this is up to where I am now. It's going to be a big snowflake row, I think. So I've got my snowman. I've got some Christmas lights, snowmen. Oh, and I've got these. And all the way down to my lovely little Rudolphs. I have been tempted to put some little red noses on my reindeer, but I'm not sure yet. All the way down to the bottom. So some of you might be completely freaking out about all of these ends. They are deliberately short and they've been left because this is going to be an enclosed border. Now, I've done enclosed borders before, so I'm comfortable with that. I do think I might knot the yarns together as I go down though, just to be on the safe side, because this has taken a lot of work, but I'm so glad I'm almost done. And it's been hard to work under in the summer. Luckily this summer hasn't been as hot up to this point, although I've read that September might be quite warm. So, but it's definitely going to be a joy to sit under. Mosaic crochet, which is a method, this is how I've got how the patterns are worked, are great because they're almost double thickness, because this is overlay crochet. Yes, it's overlay crochet, not interlocking mosaic. There's two different types of mosaic crochet that I'm aware of, and this is the overlay. So overlay mosaic crochet does tend to be thicker because you are working in the row below with your double crochets, which are your trebles if you use UK terms. And I've just so enjoyed working on this so much. I keep seeing other patterns of hers that she's released. I'm not sure. There are so many blankets out there that I want to work on. The new Sheepy's cowl should be announced soon, so hopefully that one will be a design that I want to do. Last year's cowl did not float my boat at all. I could not see myself wanting to finish it, so I didn't start it. I didn't buy the kit, although the kits, even the less fancy yarn one, was outside of what budget that would have wiped out my yarn show budget. So I think I will, if I like the look and design of the next cowl, I will do it, but I think I might just buy my own yarn rather than buying the kit. I know I miss out on a few of the extras that come with the kit, but it's just, I would rather spend my money on fancy yarn in a yarn show, if I'm honest. And plus, given how much use these blankets get in my house, I mean, this one, I bought the kit, the cotton kit for this one, which was almost £80, and I hate seeing it being dragged on the floor by the girls. It's already starting to look a little well used. This one is done with the Colour Crafter kit, that this is the Rosetta Cowl from 2019. I really enjoyed this. This one was absolutely phenomenal crochet to do. And then this one was Colour Crafter as well. And this one is the d'Histoire Naturelle Cowl. I really forgot the name of the blanket. Words really are failing me tonight. Okay, so then I've just got one more crochet whip to show you, and then I'll show you how far along I am on my cross stitch, and then we'll show you my incoming. So I am on Amigurumi this week, and I've almost finished what I started earlier in the week. It's a little koala. I'm just at the sewing up stage, so I've just got legs and tail to go. I was just trying to get it sewn up before I sat down to film, and I just ran out of time to get the legs and the tail on. Here, this is Mummy Koala. The pattern, because Emily saw it, there it is. How cute is that? So it is designed by, I'm going to murder this name, so Sakio Ishii. There she is. I don't know if you can read that. This is in the latest issue of Crochet Now magazine, and it's issue 98. So I access all of my magazines now on my Kindle using the Readly app. It is a paid for app. I think it costs me £8 or £9 a month, and I have full access to everything for that £8 or £9 a month. So there's a number of things that I follow. So I read the Week magazine, there's a country walking magazine, which I haven't read this month's one of that yet. It's really interesting. There's 3 or 4 knitting magazines. I mostly have the UK titles, but there are a couple of Australian titles in here, US titles, and that's just in the English language magazines. There are lots of others available in the non-English language. So I also follow the world of cross stitching because I'm very interested in starting a crochet along. Well, not starting, joining a not crochet along, cross stitch along. So it's just a stitch along, and they have ones regularly done. Also, cross stitcher, they have one that's going in their own that looks quite good, but I don't want to have to go back all those issues. But I have access to all the back issues of them as well. So for example, for Simply Crochet, I have all the way down to issue number 27 I have access to. So I just have to bookmark the project that I'm wanting to look at and just see what comes up. So yeah, so that's how I access my magazines now anyway. So it's so cute. So I'll be working on this for tonight and tomorrow, so we'll have to wait and see. There's a baby to go with it. I'm going to try and get the baby done before I finish my amigurumi for the week, and I'll be on to my cross stitch on Sunday because I'll be making an effort every week to get a day of cross stitch done. So even if it's only an hour of cross stitch on that day, I've worked on it at least once a week since you last saw this. So I've almost finished a page. I'm just trying to get this out without sending a lot of threads and things flying. So I am rediscovering my love for cross stitch. This obviously is a craft that I've been doing again since I was about 8 or 9. So and for a while it was the only craft that I did, with the exception of the occasional bit of knitting. I used to have a lot more cross stitch projects on the go. This one I started a long time ago, and I've just picked it up again to try and get it finished so I can start working on some of the other projects that I have. So this is still in the hoop, but this is my Amulet and Emmeline. It is a Heaven and Earth Designs pattern, and the artwork is Leslie Ann Ivory, and so that these white spaces, that's literally all I have left. So Sunday we're having I'll be at church in the morning, but after that we're going to sort of have like a movies day because the weather forecast for Sunday afternoon is not looking good. So we've got a couple of DVDs we're going to stick in, watch some movies with the girls, have some snacks, and just sort of like to have a little bit of a movie day. So my intention is to finish this page on Sunday. I'm not going to bed Sunday night until I finish this page, so that Monday when I pick up my knitting project for next week, I know that next weekend I will be picking this up to start a whole new page. So this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So I am on this section here. Not that section, this section. Yeah, I always see myself, I'm seeing myself in opposite over there. So the next page will be words. I promise no alcohol has passed through my lips today at all. But yeah, so it is predominantly cat, so lots of greys and whites and the green when I get down towards the bottom, and then back onto this patchwork, which is lots of fun to do. Patchwork, I loved doing the patchwork across the top. It was like doing a little mini cross stitch for each patch. So I would like to say that I could get this finished by my birthday next year. I would like to say that, but we'll have to wait and see, because see, Sundays do tend to be days that we do a lot of things together as a family, and so I don't always get time to sit and just stitch, and Sundays do tend to be the days that I do spend on my cross stitch. It seems to be a nice sort of palette cleanser from the yarn. Sometimes I do feel that sometimes I put too much pressure on myself with my knitting and my crochet, and I need to just sort of chill out, and my cross stitch is a way of chilling out but still keeping myself busy. So that's what I've been doing. So that's all of my whips that I have to show you. So I'm just going a tiny bit of incoming and then I'm almost done. So despite the fact that it's been almost a month since my last podcast, I think I'm doing quite well. For time, it's not hours and hours and hours. So I again forgot to get Benjamin Bunny subscription into my basket before they closed. So when Andy sent me this as a "we want to support your channel and support your make along" gift, Benjamin Bunny jumped in as well. So this is the Tale of Benjamin Bunny from the Beatrix Potter subscription. I can hear Emily. She should be tucked up in bed by now. They're probably sat at the top of the stairs thinking, Mummy needs to hurry up. Katherine definitely will, because we'll be watching, we won't have time to watch our programme. But look how beautiful that yarn is. I love Andy's subscriptions, and I would highly recommend that you sort of do put, if you have a little bit of extra money to spend on yarn and you use, so this is available in sock yarn and sock weight and DK weight. So if you wanted to use DK yarn instead of, you know, if 4-ply yarn or what, fingering weight, if it wasn't your bag, DK is available too. I tend to get the fingering weight because I do enjoy sock knitting. I haven't done any sock knitting in a while, but I do enjoy it, and I like the fact that I can get more knitting out of 100 grams of fingering weight yarn than 100 grams of double knit yarn. So I do tend to go for the fingering weight yarns. And also I did want to put on your radar, I don't know if they're still available to order, but Andy does have an advent. I've ordered one, obviously, because why not? Why wouldn't I? Let's bring him up. He's on my list, obviously. I've always browsing. So Christmas, yes, they are still available. So there is, this is the Christmas Advent, and it is available as 420 grams of 4-ply, 420 grams of double knit, 470 grams of 4-ply, and or 470 grams of double knit. So there are two price points, £80 and £100. I think I went for the 120 grams. I think, I can't remember. I'm sure if I looked in my back orders. And this is going to be based around 4 vintage Christmas cards. So available to purchase until the 1st of November. There is, if you wanted to spread the cost, there is the opportunity to spread the payments using Klarna. For those of you outside of the UK, that's sort of like a third-party finance type thing. They pay it and you pay them back. Subject to status, I'll hesitate. And obviously I've had this for the last couple of years now, that the Christmas Eve box is back. So I've obviously ordered that one as well. And if you want to see what kinds of things are in there, go back to look at my last couple of Vlogmases and you will see what was in them. So there's always 100 grams of yarn, but there's tons of lots of little extra bits and bobs in there, and I love the boxes. The girls get just as excited about the box as I do, and that's not just because Angie and Angela almost always pop a little extra sweetie in there for them. They're genuinely excited because it's like, it's a mystery. What colour is the yarn going to be? What are the extras? There's almost there's been candles in there. It's like, oh, what's the smell going to be, and things like that. So I just love that excitement of a Christmas Eve box. And I do Christmas Eve boxes for the girls, and they put one. They choose things to go in a box for their daddy as well. So we love Christmas in this house. And it's made all the better for mummy when there is a regular parcel of yarn to open. So the advent obviously is a weekly advent rather than a daily advent. I'm absolutely not got a clue what I'm going to make with it, but I'm looking forward to seeing the colours and making plans on what to do with it, and take forever to get to making those plans, probably. I'm keen to have a go at some more crochet projects using my fingering weight yarn. So if you have any suggestions of fingering weight projects for not just shawls but wearables, I do have lots of one skeins though, so it would if it's a wearable, ideally either one that would take one skein, or it doesn't matter if it's lots of different colours, because I do like just shoving colours together and seeing if it works as well. So I think I'm going to have to end it here because Catherine's going to be really cross with me when she comes downstairs. We've been watching the new series of Good Omens together, and these episodes are an hour long. So by the time all of this stuff that Simon sets up has been packed away, and I've tidied my project bags away and we've sat down on the sofa, it will only be about 20 minutes until she's about ready to go to bed. She's 12, almost 13, and she tends to go to bed on a non-school night at around 9 o'clock. So, and it's now currently 8:25. So we'll have to, I'll have to say a big sorry to her for that. But yeah, so I hope that you enjoy the whole monthly thing rather than every 2 weeks. I did find it was getting a little bit much for me podcasting every 2 weeks. Now my work is a little bit more intense, so that's why I made the decision to go monthly. If you have lasted to the end of this video, you deserve a medal for the first part, and secondly, thank you. It does help, even just watching to the end helps the algorithm put me in front of newer viewers. I think because the regularity of my videos have dropped off a little bit, my subscriber numbers are dropping a little bit as well. So if you are new here, or you do just occasionally pop in to watch, just consider subscribing, hit the bell to get notifications of when there is a new video, and I would just appreciate that. So thank you, and I shall see you again at the end of September, where I will be drawing my make along winner and showing you hopefully at least one finished object. So I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.